Welcome to Let's Talk on Ibru TV. Thank you so much for tuning in. Our number is right here somewhere on the screen. And remember, our social media platforms on Facebook is at Ibru TV KE and all other social media platforms at Ibru TV Kenya. It is freezing outside, so I hope that you have a cup of tea or warm water like I do, and you need to enjoy this show to the maximum. It is Wednesday, and the hashtag today is Wellness Wednesday, and we're going to talk about mental issues. So you need to stay tuned to hear about that. And today we also have a segment called Ask the Girls. That is, if you're new to the show, we have a segment called Ask the Girls where you tell us your problems and we give you our 2 cents. We might not be right always, but remember to also tell us what happened later on. We also have a lot in line. Today's tea is hot, so you don't need to worry about anything. Well, my name is Lily Asigo with a double L, and it's my pleasure to host you on this show today. Welcome.
Hey, yo, after that, I'm just like, even me, I'm feeling excited. It's my pleasure to host you today. Honestly, thank you so much for coming through today. It is always so exciting to know that Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we're going to be right here on this table talking about some of the messy gossip that has been happening in this Kenya of ours. Let me tell you, relationships are tough. And they're even tougher when you decide to post them on social media and let us know all your dirty laundry and linen and everything, and then come back and say, don't talk to me about it. I'm sorry, you guys are making a big deal about it. If you're wondering what I'm talking about the whole situation between Elodie and Viri, the storyteller. The situation is insane. We're going to delve deeper into it in a little bit, so make sure you go ahead and let me know your thoughts. And today is Wellness Wednesday, which means we are talking about how to keep our mental health a little bit better. You know, during these times of COVID, it is so easy for us to just fall down a spiral of having our mental health just going completely haywire, and we're trying to let you guys know what you can do in order to make sure that your mental health is in check, that you have everything in order so that you can be your best version of you. Welcome to the show. It's your girl, Ayuma Kagui.
Now, in case you do not know, at least 1 in 5 people, according to statistics in the United States of America, actually commit suicide. And this is part of the things that we're going to be talking about when we talk about mental health. It is going to be a very, very interesting way of how to deal with it. And we're going to scantily mention a few of the ones that we know that could be affecting you in order for you to get checked, because it's always important to check. Anyway, my name is Kathomi. Welcome to the show. I am pretty excited about the fact that we're here today. Yeah. My top has decided to just do a thing. It is just, trust me, today, if you see things, just know I tried. I worked hard. When I say things, I mean things, because this top is just giving me stress for days, to be all the way honest. But welcome to the show. It is going to be very, very interesting. As Lily has said, the number is right here. It's 0770 729 366. The hashtag is Ibru Let's Talk and hashtag Wellness Wednesday. So I think we just get right into it.
Wait, before we get right into it, I need to tell you guys something. Okay. I just discovered recently that when you take detox tea, it can actually have an interaction with either prescription medicine or over-the-counter medicine. Why? Because you diarrhea, and when you diarrhea, everything rushes through your digestive system. So when you pop a pill, especially everyday hormonal pill, my dear, we'll start organizing for a baby shower.
Wow.
So I'm not like against detox tea, but I just want you to be cautious when you use it. When you're using it and you happen to get sick, kindly just put it aside, take your medication. When you're done and when you're well again, you can continue. And also there's some detox tea which have toxic ingredients, so you need to also be vigilant. Just Google every ingredient, everything, and make sure whatever you're taking is safe. And also another thing, this year we're avoiding baby showers that are not planned for. When you're taking everyday hormonal pill and then you take a strong antibiotic, they cancel out. So most of you are wondering, okay, why do I have 5 kids? Now you know.
Hey, that is some good advice from the mother of 3.
And I think we really need to be taking down that advice. I was thinking I should have had a pen and paper over here writing them down, because even us, we don't want no accidental oops babies. We don't want that to be happening right now. But let me tell you, the stories are piping hot today, Kathomi.
Yes,
Hey.
the stories are piping hot, and because Ayula is feeling herself so much, she thought she would help me out. But here is what is happening in the world of Instagram, Facebook, and the WWWs. Okay, Elodie Zone and Viri. The story has been a mess. I feel like every time Elodie Zone is out of a relationship, it's just a whole hot mess. So I don't know how to help her in general because, ooh, girl. Anyway, the point is, stop dating celebrities because this is what happens. That is going to be explained a little bit further by the lovely Layuma Kaguli. We have fans reacting to Michelle Ntalami's way of giving back. So she made a post, she wanted help, or she wanted to exploit people, is the question that we are asking today. Do you honestly think, after this story, actually I want to know, and if you've read the story, please let us know on the number below. Do you think that was exploitative, or do we tell you the story first for you to be able to process it? And finally, talk about Cancel Nation. Now, our friend Akode was being cancelled, but this time they have decided to cancel their own. I am talking about Diamond Platnumz, aka Simba, aka Babalao. He is being cancelled by the Tanzanians, not just locally, he is being cancelled internationally. And that story is going to be explained in a little bit, so let's get into it. It is time for Hot Talk.
We are starting off with Elodie and Viri's messy relationship. For the longest time, we're trying to speculate whether they were even in a relationship to begin with because they seemed really cozy with one another. They were always there doing videos and pictures. She showed up in his latest music video for Nikosawa. And then on Tuesday, yesterday, she dropped a bombshell on us and let us know that they've broken up. And I was like, hey, yeah, how have you guys broken up when you guys were not even supposed to be together? And she made some pretty strong allegations against him. She said that there was instances of physical abuse as well as mental and emotional abuse. She also talked about how confirmed that he was the one that left her stranded after curfew on the side of the road. So as you can imagine, everybody was really upset about this whole situation. We've been talking about it for such a long time, wondering what exactly is going on in this relationship. And she seemed really upset for her to go ahead and speak about it. She even talked about how she had tried to be professional and not really let on to the struggles of that relationship, but she finally just had to talk about it. But then she seemed to wake up today with a change of heart, and she went ahead and posted a long post on her stories where she said, Viri and I came to coast with our friends to unwind, relax, and make peace with each other. When I made that post, it was fueled by tension and an afternoon of too many drinks. Neither one of us thought it would be blown out of proportion the way it has been. Blogging sites and bloggers have also begun to spread misinformation, and this is affecting our careers, family, and lives. We both are moving forward with the full respect and peace and plan on continuing this year focused on our work lives only. Kindly be considerate of the situation and do not send hate to him and himself, to myself or him. I'm sorry this has painted us to be something we aren't. Good content, clothing, and music will continue coming from us. And that was not all that was said. Also, Soul Generation went ahead and released a statement where they basically said, Soul Generation, we do not and will not tolerate any form of mental, physical, or emotional abuse. The recent allegations surrounding Viri the Storyteller and Elodie are of great concern to us. Over the last 48 hours, we have been working frantically to understand and investigate the events. The sensitivity of this matter should not be understated, and such we have been treating the matter with the utmost privacy and humanity. They also went ahead to talk about basically how they're trying to go through it and making sure that it will not continue in the future, and the journey of mental wellness is a marathon, not a sprint. What I got from this whole entire story was Elodie was feeling sorry that she talked about a situation because now it was affecting Viri. You know, when she talked about the situation of saying that he actually had physically abused her, these are not words that we put into her mouth. She specifically went ahead and said that. She's the one who talked about it on her platform. And then now the next day, after the drinks have come down, you've now sobered up and everything, you see his management over there like, hi, yeah, so is this what's really happening? You see him there like, why did you talk about it? And then now she had to go ahead and release another statement to say that, you know what, this was misinformation, and the bloggers and the websites you guys are the ones who misinterpreted it, and you guys are trying to change the situation to what it's not. No, Elodie, it's you who let us know about the situation, and we wouldn't be talking about it if you didn't go ahead and let us know what is happening. And sadly, when it comes to this, I don't know like what to believe, who to believe. Should we now take back what she said originally? You know what I mean? But like the claim of physical abuse is serious, and I take that claim really, really seriously. And if indeed she was in a physical abusive relationship with Mviri, she has every right to talk about that. Part of me feels as if she's being bullied into silence because now it's going to affect his musical career, her career as well, and the career of like the whole Soul Generation family in general. You know what I mean? So this story seems really fishy to me. It just seems as if she told her truth, she got negative backlash from it, and now she's taking it back.
Okay, if I am being all the way honest, I will take you back to the time when YouTube was sensational and everyone had a YouTube couple that they loved, right? And this had been seen mostly in Hollywood, and even it continued on to TikTok as well. So most of these social media sites where people have couples and then they become couple goals and then suddenly they break up out of something very dramatic and all they want to say is, oh my God, we had a relationship, I loved him, he didn't love me, and now we've decided to go our separate ways and I wish him well in his life. It feels like one of those like Kiki type vibes, you know, as in you dated for a specific cause, now the cause has ended, and then you want to dismiss it and end that relationship, which was fake to begin with, right? I'm not calling anyone out on this particular story. I really don't have the facts with me to tell you that it was a fake relationship. But technically speaking, it feels like this is one of those incidences where people got into a relationship or created a relationship for the purposes of content, for the purposes of enabling themselves to get to a point in their platforms where the other person was. You know, when you have one person with low followers, the other person with a bit more people on their side, and you want to transfer your followers, the only way to do it is making them interested in the other person who has low followers, which again, as I have said, we've seen with YouTube. I remember there was a very big couple who ended up breaking up, and they just
Amore family.
Amore family, one of those. We have even the international ones, like what's her name? I forget her name. But these people tend to do this just to get traction to their pages, to create content together in a coupley way, you know. But at the end of the day, it really does beg the question of, when you cry wolf, you really need to be serious about it. Because you can't be saying that someone physically abused you, someone emotionally abused you, someone mentally tortured you, and then you end up going for a vacation with them. You know, it doesn't track, it doesn't sit all the way right with me. Regardless, people are friends, and even with their relationship being messy as it is at this point in time, they still should remain friends. And if this is a way of helping out a friend, great. But if at all the situations or the accusations that you're making against Mviri are legitimate, then we need to look at this with a deeper, with a bigger magnifying glass, because you're not the only person he's going to date. He's going to date other women in the future. So are they supposed to also be cautioned about the tendencies that this man has? You know what I mean? So if you're gonna cry wolf in public, make sure you can back it up and make sure it's actually legitimate. Let's not ruin people's careers because you're mad at them, you're causing a tantrum because they broke up with you. You know what I mean? It's really messy.
When you're in a relationship and someone happens to abuse you, we are against all forms of abuse. So to me, you're against me, we are against all forms of abuse. But if you're in a relationship with someone and they happen to abuse you, and then you talk about it and you forgive them, probably you start helping them to change. Then when you happen to break up, again, now you start announcing to the whole world that, hey, Kathomi alinifanyia hivi, hey, you're not helping the abuser. Okay? If you happen to forgive them and try and help them better themselves, then don't use it against them. So it's the high time, yes, we condemn everyone, all the abusers, but also they need help. So once you forgive them, start trying to help them. If you can't help them, then I just call it quits, go silently, but don't embarrass them in public, you know? Let's be human. And also, relationships. When you're dating someone, and then you tell the whole world that, hey, we're not dating, what are you doing? You're inviting the devil to your relationship. And now see, the devil came and destroyed. So let's speak life into our relationships. Yeah? Let's help the abusers, okay? They need help. They don't need us to embarrass them in public. Let's help them in private so that we can see the results in public. And also, I don't know what is going on in today's generation, because most relationships are convoluted, complex, everything up on Dani. We need to now start knowing people more before we engage them in serious stuff. If you don't like someone, just don't try and force the relationship. Just end things. If you discover that someone has a problem, end the relationship and then let them know that they have this particular problem and help them find help. That's all I have to say about that story.
You're better than me. I'm not
Girl,
sure.
there's
I'm
no
not trying to
point.
help
They're
anybody.
absolutely
you
not.
chapa me. Once a slap or a
thank
fist
you.
or anything touches me, by the way, I'm done with you. I might embarrass you in front of social
And
media and the
report
whole
you to
world.
the police.
And
What
then
you
it's up to
mean?
you to go and find the help that you need.
That is okay. I agree with you to a point.
Yeah.
That is okay. That is what we're supposed to do. But when you happen to forgive that someone, and then you're moving on with the relationship, surely, so you're coming back to embarrass them, and no one is perfect, by the way. So if you embarrass me in public, yes,
Lily.
yes, it is not right to abuse
Lily.
someone. I've been clear about
There is a
that. So if you
de-
embarrass me in public, of course, I'll find something about you that I'll also embarrass you in
That
public.
is
And
not
then it's gonna be
embarrassing
ugly.
someone. That is telling someone that they physically abuse. There's a wholly different. It's like saying, "Oh my God, he dresses funny. His
But they
teeth
are
look whack.
aware.
His
That's
hair
the
looks
problem.
blah blah blah." That's embarrassing someone. Saying, "Oh, he's not good in bed. He's not. You know, he can't do shit. He can't do anything. He has no money." That's embarrassing someone. But calling someone out on physically abusing you, that's a very different story
And all I'm
altogether.
saying is that it is not right to abuse anyone, but if you forgive them, now I'm talking about forgiving someone who has abused you, because it is happening. We've all forgiven someone who has done something wrong to us. So if you happen to forgive someone, please move forward from it, move on, and get them help. That's the only way you're gonna help them. If you tell the public about what they did, yes, tutamtukana, tutafanya nini, we might even tell you, wewe mpeleke court, mpeleke nini, and then will he get the help that he needs?
Someone will find a way to help you. It's not my matter. It's not my
Anyway.
problem. Do not catch me. Miss me with that, Apana.
Sawa.
Hey.
We all know Michelle Ntalami, CEO. She's everything all around. She recently posted and explained to us what exactly she's going to do this year on her birthday. Like all her previous birthdays, she does great photo shoots, but this time round, she wants to give back. And her way of giving back is giving people free advertisement on social media. And you know what? Kenyans everywhere on social media did not like it. Because why? They don't have businesses. Two, they don't have anyone they know that has a business. They don't understand what a business is, because when you have a business, you're going to understand that kitu Michelle anafanya ya advertise for free. It's going to give you leverage, my friend. Free advertisement, you're going to get 1 or 2 people who are going to buy your products. You're going to get even 10 followers who are potential buyers. So that is my take, because I have a business and I understand that any kind of advertisement is good for your business. So all she's trying to do is like give back. She doesn't want you, the photographer, to come and take photos of her and pay for the location and everything else. All she's asking is, if you're a photographer, come with your camera and everything.
I feel like you're going
You know,
ahead of yourself. Could you please
Apana.
tell us what happened? Read for us
Apana.
exactly
That is
what you're talking
we don't
about.
have time, so I won't read everything. She just says, yeah, what I've explained, and anasema, this is a pro bono shoot for all the brands and people I will partner with. That is no charges. I only get to keep the items that I like, okay? Or whatever you choose to bless me with from your collection. If you want to dress her, I've already got the concept, so all I need is the awesome team and brands to put it together. So she came up with a list, akasema, if you fall under any of these categories or know someone or a brand that does, please tag them. And tag them below, ensuring that they're ready to do this, and send me a DM on the same blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so my point stands that this is actually a fantastic thing to do for people. If you want to keep something, if I give you lashes, for example, would you give them back, surely? And umetoa, umeva, okay, umefanya photo shoot. So if she likes them, she will keep them. And she will mention you. Atakufanya free advertising. So for me, my take is that this is a positive thing to do. And in fact, by today, all these categories, our watu wote, trust me, ashapata watu. There are people who understand what business means to them. So probably wameshamu approach by now. That's all I have to say.
You know, when it comes to this situation, I see both sides of the coin, yeah? I can see how as an influencer, someone that has a lot of influence, you have many followers, and you have like just people who are willing to do whatever you tell them to do. This is a great opportunity for them. The only point I didn't like is like it seemed as if it was like, you know, her way of giving back to the community, because it's like it's a partnership. You make me look good, and I go ahead and post about you on social media. I don't think she's going towards a specific brand and saying, Kathomi, give me your clothes, and then I'm going to go and, you know, pay you with publicity. That's different. Unajileta, you're bringing yourself to her platform with your products and everything, so therefore you already know what the deal is. She's paying you with publicity. And publicity really goes a long way. A lot of times when you see certain celebrities wearing certain things, you want to know, oh, what is she wearing? What is she doing? What is she promoting? And we're willing to do that. The only part I didn't like was the part of Ati, if I like it, I'll keep it. Excuse me, no, you will not keep it. You will give it back to me in the same way that you found it. I don't think she needs to be keeping anything, because that means, you know why? No, let her finish. The reason why, I'm like, why you keep it? If I give you a really expensive gown, okay, and you fall in love with it, of course you're going to fall in love with it. It's amazing. It's wonderful. But you're not, it's now taking out of my pocket. You're looking beautiful, you're looking great, you're posting all over social media, you're getting likes, you're getting comments, you're getting followers. I too am getting likes, comments, followers, and potential buyers. But there's no, if you have not paid for it and it's purely off of just the transaction of I look good and you get to promote your product, you need to give me back my product. Everything else was fine with what I read over there until the part where I saw, if I like it, I'll keep it.
But now you won't approach her because of that fact. But the person who doesn't mind her keeping their products,
that one is okay.
Definitely,
yeah.
All right, I'm on a wholly different tangent over here. Let's just take it all the way back to people knowing their demographics. Let's be all the way honest. Michelle Ntalami has a great following. Of course, if you post anything, you'll want to know what she's wearing, where she got it, yada, yada, yada. So it is potentially good business for the people who are giving her the products, and it is a good sighting for her because she gets photos and she looks amazing and she has content. So it's a double-edged sword, in which case both people win. But here is the thing people need to understand, my fellow influencers. Let's come here, Kamukundi. Do you know who your people are? Because, and forget the people, let's just be you. You with your 20K followers, yeah? You know 20K, people think 20K or 60K or 15K or whatever Ks you have, people assume that is interpreted into money. So you have the ability to buy these things. That is the notion that people are going forward with, yeah? You have 100K followers. No. Uyu akona pesa. Uyu lazima anunue. And that is the problem. People are assuming that she would rather, the natural notion here is, why would you take away from someone else's business or try and use someone for free, for exposure, yet you can be able to fully afford these things? But that's the question. Who told you that that money is in that account? Who told you 100,000 followers is equivalent to 100,000 shillings in my bank account? Let's be all the way serious. People, let's think before we start talking about things. You know, let's still sit down and think about where she came from when she was making this idea. It's a really genuinely good idea, and people have done it multiple times. We're talking about Kim Kardashian here. They do everything for free, and they still get paid just to wear those clothes. And Michelle Ntalami, who wouldn't want to dress her? Her body is banging, her crowd is amazing, and she obviously creates such amazing content. So that is someone you need to be associated with. You know what I'm saying? But let's stop thinking about the amount of money in people's bank accounts. You don't know whether she has the money. I'm not saying she's broke. I don't know her personally. But I'm just saying it doesn't equate to money. And let's also be all the way serious. We don't know what the logistics are going to be. Okay, so the people are coming for the photography, the people are coming with the clothes. Is she paying for all these things? Like, we don't know what is going on behind the scenes. She said she has the concept. We don't know the concept. Let's stop equating followers to money. Okay, thank you. Speaking about people who need to be checked, Diamond Platinumz, Babalao. Because of that song, he said Magufuli Babalao, and it has come to haunt him, and it has come to destroy him. So he was supposed to be nominated for the BETs. Actually, he was nominated for the BET Awards. And the Tanzanians, who are his actual people, have gone and are making people sign a petition, which I feel at this point is probably already at 10K. They were trying to get to 10,000 people to sign the petition that disqualifies Diamond Platnumz from getting a BET Award for the Best International Act. Okay. Now, the thing is, according to them, the reasons why they're making this a problem is because why he needs to be disqualified, according to the Tanzanians, is one, Diamond Platnumz has failed to show basic concern and publicly express any solidarity with his fellow artists. Yeah? So he's refused to show solidarity with his fellow artists in condemning the dictator, or in condemning the dictator that was, rest his soul, Dictator Magufuli. Diamond Platnumz chose to protect and expand his personal and business interests by raising and using his star power to soften the image of the brutal dictators and his collaborators. By this, they mean that this guy decided to bring them on their shows, decided to go and perform during their campaigns or whatever. It was engaged with them very, very personally when it came to doing what they were doing publicly. So if they needed like an entertainer, they'd bring Diamond or his Wasafi people to come and perform and whatever, which then makes people assume, okay, if this guy is you know, working with these guys, they're probably nice guys. You know what I'm saying? So softening the images of these people. And then finally, Diamond Platnumz, unlike his other people who've been nominated, like Burna Boy and the rest, he was actually very vocal about the End SARS, He was very vocal about End SARS, which was another big problem within the Nigerian community. But then he didn't come up and do the same when it came to Paul Makonda and Magufuli. And here is the truth of the matter. At some point, it comes and bites you. Listen, what you say sometimes, I know it can be said in just move in passing, you know? You can do things in passing. But again, we need to know the people that we follow. We need to know that we're accountable to the people that listen to us and seek our opinion in general, okay? So as you're going out and condemning, and as you're going out and praising, as whatever you're doing generally in the public eye should be very well researched. Make sure that you're not giving people the wrong information in general. Let's just be all the way honest. I feel like it's justified in this case.
I don't think it's justified at all. I don't think somebody's political views should be affecting how their music is done and how it is appreciated internationally. Because let's just be all the way honest. There's many people in Tanzania who loved Magufuli, who loved what he stood for, who loved everything about him. And at the same time, there's many people who did not like him. And we all have our own political views. There's people who over here will not like him, and that's your own decision. You know what I mean? I shouldn't be condemned because I was willing to work with this particular person, because I was willing to back this particular person. It is my decision. And that's why it's like, you know, it's politics. Just in general, it's politics. The same way here in Kenya, our elections are coming up soon. If I like a certain candidate and someone else doesn't like this candidate, by the way, don't go tell BET and don't go and put her over there to be the next, you know, most amazing TV presenter because I liked a specific candidate. That's not fair, because you're policing who I can be behind when it comes to politics. I think it's completely fine. I think that he should be able to still be able to differentiate between his music and his politics. And if you don't like his politics, Sharia, that's your own business. You fight for the politician that you like and the views that you like, and go out and vote and do whatever it is that you need to do to make sure that those people are in power.
Absolutely. I agree with everything that you have said. Let's separate art from politics and this freedom of expression. But you know what? We are going to take a short break, and when we come back, it's time for Ask the Girls, and it's time for our hot topic. So don't go anywhere. Welcome back. You're still watching Let's Talk. We can see you're still sending us feedback on our WhatsApp number, which is down here somewhere. So keep on sending in your messages. Let's interact. But today's topic is quite interesting. As I've told you, it's a Wellness Wednesday. So we're going to talk about how to look after your mental health and just to identify a few of the mental health issues. So it's time for Wellness Wednesday. You may ask, what is mental health? It's just the overall wellness of how you think, how you do stuff, how you respond to stuff. etc. And today we want to talk about how to look after your mental health. But first, let's give just the common types of mental health disorder. And I'm going to start with PTSD, which is postpartum traumatic disorder, stress disorder. How do you know that you post-traumatic stress disorder? My goodness, am I drinking water?
Are you trying to talk about something? Are we about to get another child?
I am joking. No.
Girl.
She can bow. African she can bow.
Anyway,
Yeah, so post-traumatic stress disorder, how to know that you have it. Normally you get flashbacks of whatever happened to you. Probably you saw something traumatic happening to someone else, or it happened to you. So depending on the triggers that you have, you might, if you find yourself getting those kind of triggers, having to remember, getting flashbacks of whatever happened to you, then you might have to consider seeing a doctor to just confirm or rule out PTSD. Other people start to overthink. You just think over everything. Wherever you are, you think someone is coming to get you and such things. And also you start getting nightmares. You avoid situations that bring back the trauma, and maybe you might experience some anxiety or depression. So some people might never recover from it, but we have a few people, a certain percentage of people, a small percentage of people who have actually recovered from it. So kindly go and find out how you can also recover from it so that you can move on with your life peacefully and comfortably.
Yeah, and like we know, PTSD is definitely a mental disorder that I think a lot of us have gone through, especially depending on what traumatic situation you've gone through. And it doesn't always have to be like the most craziest thing that has happened, just something that was really traumatic to you, even losing a job, even losing a house, losing a family member. That can be really traumatic, and it can bring back a lot of flashbacks of those types of experiences. We also have borderline personality disorder, which is basically when you can have, here's some of the signs that shows that you might have borderline personality disorder. Because at first when I saw this and Katomi said, let's tell you that she's the one that's closest to you, I was like, girl, what you talking about? That's what she said, by the way, the one that's closest to you. But as she was there saying the signs, I was like,
Probably.
But some of the signs are a fear of abandonment. You know, like you feel as if like the people who are close to you that you never know when or they can leave you. That also, I think, can also go into PTSD. Like, you know, if you were left by your family members, if a close parent has gone away or died, then, you know, you can have a fear of abandonment, and the people who are close to you, like, you really hold them dear. There's also extreme emotional reactions. You know, you can be really, really, really happy, and at the same time, like in a snap of a finger, you can be extremely upset, and you can be extremely, like, you know, disappointed. Like, basically your emotions are all over the place, and anything can trigger the change in emotions. There's also panic and anxiety attacks, and like a constant state of being frantic. You know, you're just always just like, there's something that's busy, like you're always trying to keep yourself busy, you're always trying to figure things out, you're just like never in a state of just being calm and everything, like you're just frantic when it comes to your emotions. And last but not least, we also have depersonalization, which is basically when someone is not feeling human characteristics or individuality. It's basically when one's thoughts and feelings seem unreal and as if they don't belong to yourself. And you know, sometimes we have those times where you're like, I don't feel like me. I don't feel like myself. I don't feel like the regular Ayuma that I'm used to being, So that is definitely one of the signs. And we're going to take a look at how we can go ahead to combat those different signs and everything, so you can get rid of your borderline personality disorder. But it's not really getting rid of it, it's just kind of managing it. But one of the things that you can definitely do is to shock your body out of that state. Yeah, so for example, if you're there feeling a lot of anxiety and you're constantly panicked and frantic and everything, then you can do something that will get you out of that mindset and everything. If that means, like, you know, maybe pinch yourself, you know, to like remember, like, okay, this is real, this is whatever is going on is just in my head. Maybe if you now put yourself into, like, you know, get yourself into work to get yourself out of that state of mind, talk to somebody that's really, really helpful. That can also get you out of this state of like anxiety and everything.
Absolutely. And apparently, according to research, now that people have gotten into the research of this particular disorder, borderline personality disorder, it's been discovered that the pain that you feel, because like Ayuma said, you feel a lot of pain and anxiety, it can be equated to you getting third-degree burns. Like, you know, third-degree burns is like pretty much your whole body is gone. Like, you've been burnt all over, and that's instantly. Every time you're in like that state of your personality disorder is kind of reacting with you, you just kind of feel like you're burning. And you know, physically, we can't see what's going on with you. So we can't really tell you, okay, girl, something's wrong. You would just feel it internally, and you're trying to explain it to someone, but because there's no physical evidence, then people just assume, you're being dramatic. But in actual sense, the pain of losing someone, like the abandonment pain, it can feel like you've literally been burnt. Third degree is it's usually like 60% of your body at that point is already burnt, and that is crazy. I felt really sad when I heard about that. Well, there's some which are pretty common, like suicide and depression. Those ones you know about, and obviously the obvious signs for, you know, suicide and depression tend to become almost the same. We have self-isolation, self-harm, and suicidal ideation. Suicidal ideation is where you feel like killing yourself. You're actually thinking about ways in which you can do it. You're actually planning sometimes to do it. So suicide and depression can tend to have the same sort of signs. You know, you want to be on your own. You know, in public, you're around people. You're always happy. Oh my God, you guys! I am a cheerleader. I'm a radio personality. I am a TV personality. When I come here, I just feel like talking to you all the time. But in actual sense, when you go back behind closed doors, you're pretty much stuck on your own. These people tend to feel the need not to express their pain, because then you just don't want to disturb anyone. You know, when you're depressed, you also are afraid of people hating you, or you just feel like people don't want you anyway, and even if you died, it wouldn't have made a difference. And so you really don't want people to know what you're going through, because that is already tormenting you inside. And don't forget, we have the bipolar, which is also a very big one. Bipolar complex, where people tend to have like more than one personality. Sometimes it's a split personality. So you can have, you've ever seen people saying, I have an alter ego. Now, with people with bipolar complexes or bipolar disorder, tend to have that extreme split in personality, where it's like the brain shuts off. If you've gone through trauma or whatever, you will completely shut off. You become a whole other person. For example, I have a Faith who's Katomi, who is still Katomi, you know, and then I have Faith, and Faith is usually like a cop. So Faith will come up every time someone is trying to attack me. You know, Faith will come up and try and fight for me because Katomi can't do it. You know what I mean? It can be a completely split personality. And that one comes with hypomania, which is mood elevations. It can go from extreme, like elevation to the point where, you know, those people who look like you're on drugs. Yani, you're always just happy, you know, like, just extreme elevation in your mood. You can have profound sadness sometimes, or you can't explain it, but you're just so sad. And there's nothing you can do about it. And then you have suicidal thoughts as well. So those are the major signs for that. And then I think we'll just quickly scan through schizophrenic disorder as well. This one is the one which is exhibited mostly. When you see, like, I don't want to call them mad people, but you see those guys who run the streets, they kind of look like they're not in their right state of mind. They're collecting garbage, talking to themselves. Those people are oftentimes schizophrenic. And some of these signs at the very beginning can be anxiety, paranoia. That's when they say, I'm being watched, someone is trying to kill me, stuff like that. Like, you're extremely paranoid, and then you're extremely depressed as well. And you will feel like you want to, you can't really get to your full state at that point in time, because like, if you're paranoid, you're paranoid. You're not in your proper state of mind where you're like normal, you know, you're just chill. You're extremely feeling afraid of something, someone is trying to kill you, so it's hard for you to switch that. So those are some of the, I think, the most commonly known ones. If you feel like you have any of these signs, I feel like it's important for you to talk to a physician, talk to a psychiatrist or a psychologist, and they can be able to help you out. It could be mild, because sometimes people have like mild bipolar disorders, and all this can be very mild, so it's important to know how what it is, get the diagnosis, so that you can be able to properly curtail it. But yeah, I feel like there are some ways you can be able to generally try and help yourself if you're in any state of any one of these states, suicide, depression, or whatever. There's some ways.
Yeah,
you can be
we
able
do
to
have
manage
ways in which
Which?
we have ways in which you can deal with such situations, and we're going to brush through them quickly. I'm going to mention at least 4. One, you can talk about your feelings, and that means problem shared is half solved. So you just need to talk about it, let it out, and you're going to feel much better about after that. You need to keep active. You need to exercise, because when you exercise, there is a hormone that is released to your brain, which actually makes you feel better. It calms you down, and exercising is also also healthy for your body. You need to eat well. You need to eat a balanced diet because sometimes when you eat fatty foods, they affect you differently. And you don't want to be depressed there and adding weight. And you can stop that. So just eat healthy, try and eat a balanced diet, and also drink sensibly. Don't go there with your stress and now you finish a whole bottle of vodka and then you're there thinking, "Ooh, my problems have gone away." No, that is just a temporary fix. So you just need to, if you have to drink, just kidogo too, but not just, don't drink and think that all your problems are going to go away, because they won't go away.
Yeah, and especially for the drinking thing, honestly, when you're going through certain mental issues, I would avoid alcohol completely. And it seems like the one thing that you think that is really going to help you, or any other type of drug, that's the time to avoid it completely, because it will now take your state into another higher level of that. If you're feeling depression, maybe now because of the, drugs and alcohol, you can now go into suicidal thoughts and everything. So you really want to stay away from any type of drugs and alcohol. Also, you need to keep in touch with friends and family. Talk about what you're feeling, talk about what you're going through. Let anybody who has ears listen. Because even though you feel as if you're alone in this situation, most likely you're not alone. It's just that the people around you don't know what you're going through, especially if you have those type of personalities where in public, you're happy, you're great, you're fine. And then at home is when you have those, mental health issues and everything. You should definitely ask for help as you're talking to people. And sometimes it's good to just take a break, Take a break from work if you're able to. Sometimes with our work situations, you might not be able to take a break, but maybe during that time of the weekend, you can really take some time just to yourself, do the things that help make you feel happy. If it's your family that's stressing you out, maybe you need to give your family a break a little bit. Your children are stressing you out, and just ask your husband or your auntie or your grandmother, your mother, somebody to take care of the kids for a while so you can be able to take a break from those stressful situations. And you really need to make sure that you do something that you're good at and do something that brings you joy.
Absolutely. And when it comes to particular ones or particular disorders like schizophrenia, for example, you tend to find yourself inclined towards the direction of, you've done something, yes, it's your fault, but now you don't come out of that. Like, you're not able to come out of that mood of, oh my God, I messed up. I really, really messed up. You're stuck there for a long time, and that can lead again to depression. And then it escalates. Every time you put yourself in a situation where you're thinking inward and you're not being able to come out of that situation, it escalates and it can lead to many, many problems. Don't forget, there is stigma attached to a lot of these things. For example, I was joking about it, but it's very serious. For example, PTSD. You tend to find that people with PTSD tend to be, like, if guys from the army, for example, they're back home now, they've been in the army, Kenya, and whatever one you were in, you come home and you're having weird reactions to stuff, or your PTSD is actually getting escalated. You find people saying things like, huyu alikuwa kwa army, wanakuanga hivyo. Ama you find yourself in a situation where you have borderline personality disorder, and you've told people about it, and guys are like, she's always changing her mood all the time. That one wachana na yeye anakuanga hivyo. So that stigma that is attached to people, and that just blasé way of looking at things, can be a problem. So it's important for you to be careful about other people around you and just take care of them, because it's vital for them to know that they're being heard. Another thing you need to know is that some of these can be very extreme, where you were a certain person, and then after you've gotten your mental disorder or your mental illness, then you automatically become another person. And you're always going back to, I want to go back to being the person that I was. I want to go back to being. I want to go back to being. But the truth of the matter is, up until that situation has been managed, there is no way of going back. So you were person A, B, C, but you need to come to a point where you accept that I am no longer that person. This is who I am now, and accept that and move on with it, because that's the only way to help yourself out. Another thing that I read somewhere that was very important, and I'm going to bring it up, is the thing about the truth. I read this quote somewhere. It says, the thing about the truth is that it exists beyond belief. It is true even when nobody believes it. So if you genuinely feel like you're going through something that is not a normal level of stress, something that is so intense and unique to you, please, even if nobody else believes you, it is true. You are going through that situation. So make sure you actually talk to someone. Make sure you actually seek out help. As much noise as you can create, just to be able to help yourself, because we really don't want to get to the point where we are at, which is, every 1 in 5 people commit suicide. it's worse in younger people because a lot of people just, you don't know who you're talking to. And when it's your close friends, sometimes when it's your mom or your family, you're just like, that's just my family. You know, when you're going through a phase where you're feeling like your self-esteem is low, and then your mom comes tells you, oh, it's okay, you're pretty as you are, you're beautiful as you are. You're just like, that's just my mom. She will always say that because she's my mom. But the truth of the matter is, it's important for you to be able to speak your truth. And another very important thing, people around you that are going through mental health issues or mental illness, it's important for you to try and amp up their self-esteem, because once they've checked their self-esteem, then everything gets a little better. I know I've said a lot. Let's just move on.
Yeah, I've just read something here and I had to laugh out loud. But anyway, Diana says, I love the way you girls look. You look hot today. Ayuma, who dressed you today?
Oh, yes. I'm loving this outfit that I have on. I wish I could like stand up for you nicely and show it off. But his style has got me looking amazing. You can go ahead and check him out on Instagram. That's at HIIII_style. And they're honestly, they got me looking good.
They've done an amazing job. So I'm just going to sample just 2 or 3 of your feedback and then we get to game. Hi ladies, I miss you all, looking awesome. Alex Tin from Rungai, we see you. Diamond political view is his own view and that cannot change how talented he is. I agree. Hello, Cynthia from Mombasa, you girls look amazing. Thank you for the topic today. Mental health is a very serious issue. People are not aware of it. The way we live in modern times has greatly contributed to many people having anxiety and depression. Meditation and controlled breathing helps. Thank you so much, Emma James.
Oh, that's really nice.
We see you, Hilda from Tindigua as well, by the way. We see you. And Chebsi from Eldoret. We see you as well. Chebsi. Chebsi from Eldoret, we see you as well. So we're going to get into a game. The game today is really, really fun. It's going to elevate our mood from being super serious to being really goofy. We are having a game. The game today is called Date Him or Ditch Him. As in, is he trash or is he a keeper? So let's get right into it. It's time for game. Right, ladies and gentlemen, I also want you to answer yourself, as in answer loudly. You know, when you're listening to me, answer yourself loudly. Nanguvu, tukusikie tukiwa hapa. All right, so one of them is, the waitress and waiter in the restaurants all know him. Date him or ditch him?
Date him. That just means he likes to eat.
Yeah, date
Right?
him. He tips.
I'm just gonna go with, he's brought too many people around and you're not the first, honey, so ditch him. During the date, he starts taking pictures of the food. Date him or ditch him?
A ditch.
Ditch.
Yeah, that should be me.
Yeah, it's very unfeminine for a guy to start taking pictures. I
Yeah.
mean, it's just strange. He has a female best friend.
Ditch.
Ditch him instantly. Ayuma? It's a struggle.
It's a struggle, but I'll be there. I'll be ignoring
Monitoring.
that. I'll be monitoring and ignoring that red flag.
You'll be the vulture around. He invites you to his house on his first date. On the first date, date him or ditch him?
Date.
Date.
Invites you to the house on the first date. He's just trying to
Yeah,
chips
he's not
punga
playing
you.
games, no.
Chips punga. My friend, Uzipungwe. Anyway, he asks you to split the bill on the date.
Oh, ditch.
Ditch.
Girls don't like to
Goodbye.
pay for them.
Ditch.
Not the first date when you're trying to woo me.
Exactly.
Yeah, and also that's kind of setting a standard of like, yeah, you're going to be paying for a lot more bills, honey. And we actually need to have a conversation about the parallels between money and sexual intercourse. Like, how do those two relate? Because it seems like it's a thing there. Anyway, he's still friends with his ex.
Date.
It depends.
Yeah.
If they have children, then
So if they don't
Wow,
have
you
children,
can't
there's no
control.
reason for them to be friends.
You
Yeah,
will
for
always be
what?
the third wheel.
For what?
Talk about the third wheel for the rest of your life. So I hope you have answered those questions as well, and I hope that you have said ditch the ones you said ditch, and you know, date for the ones you said date. And in fact, some of them like Ayuma and the exes. Me, that one I will never understand. As in.
at least it's 50-50. Ayuko sure kama atakubali.
Life has just forced us to understand. You know, before I was those people who like, but why are you still friends? But apparently I'm the person. You have to be the toxic one if you're not friends with your exes, because people have, you know, nice friendships with their exes.
And
Until
that's
you
the
find out they have
best.
babies.
And that's the best way to end today's show. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember, our WhatsApp number is right here. Kindly save it. private. All our social media platforms except Facebook. Facebook is Ibru TV KE, and all other platforms is Ibru TV Kenya. Follow us on our private pages at Lily Asigo, at Ayuma _Kaguli, at Kathomi, and also at Ibru Let's Talk _official. The conversation doesn't end here, so keep texting. Thank you for watching.
Bye.
Bye.